all the way from Nigeria, Lagos. One of the most incredible artists and voices of our time. A legend, a living legend. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, a warm welcome to Femi Kuti.
When I was growing up, I was more into funk. And when I really made up my mind to play music, my father says, if I don't study jazz or like jazz, there is no way I will really go far. So I started to listen to Charlie Parker, and it sounded so horrible, like a very bitter pill. And I was, what? No way, not listening to this. I mean, we were funky children. And he says, well, okay. So a girlfriend of mine paid my way to America, and he says, okay, since you're going to America, buy this album, Moody's Mood for Love by James Moody. And he says that's light, kind of like jazz, and probably this will bring you into the forum of jazz. So I get to this shop in America and I see the store, but I see one by George Benson. So I says, I've got something my father doesn't know for once, and I'm happy, so I bought it. But knowing my father, I still bought Moody's Mood for Love by James Moody, because just to be on the safe side. So I get back to him, I said, well, I got something you don't know about. George Benson, Moody's Mood for Love. Says, don't be stupid. I said, Moody's Mood for Love by James Moody. Think I who told you to buy George Benson? I was very upset because I found George Benson's more groovy and more funky. So I went back, listened to James Moody, and I was, wow, not bad. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da. Interesting. Then I started to get addicted. I listened to it over and over. I said, wow. Then I went back to Charlie Parker. And I said, whoa. And I got very frightened. I saw dexterity, I saw improvisation, I saw things that were impossible to do as a horn player. And this is me trying to copy. And I got to a crossroad. And I knew I could never be Charlie Parker or Dizzy Gillespie or any of them. I said, so it was either do I proceed or stop playing music? And I said, wow, I couldn't give up because I left school. So I said, well, I can't be Charlie Parker, I can't be any of these great people, but I can be Femi and Kuti. So this taught me to find my voice. And this was the same mathematical improvisation I had in my mind that I used for, I could never be my father. I could find my voice in this chaos in my life. I could be Femi. I know I love my father, so I wasn't trying to imitate him or be like him, but I could be myself. So this is why I could find my voice, find my own music, because that crossroad I came through with jazz, the same way I found a way out was the same way I could find a way out in my father's life. When you get to where I am, you realize that, first of all, you understand as a composer, you're just a medium that higher forces are using to give people joy, inspiration, courage. And it's like a sacrifice. You put yourself in this state. Even if you're in pain and you have a performance, you're not supposed to show that to the audience, because people come to watch you to get rid of their pain and be happy. I had a concert and it was the day my mother died. I wasn't supposed to let it show. I'm not allowed to let it show because I put myself in that place. And if you arrive at this level, then you understand your gift is to be shared. It's not for you. And then you realize again that no matter how good you are, you're never good enough. And you have to keep on working. Bang 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 were so huge. And I thought it was an opportunity to build bridges with our black brothers and sisters in America, talk about Africa. And if you remember, there was a collaboration with D'Angelo at that time as well. So I got this opportunity and I thought if I did this, people have a different mindset about Africa and they'll be hearing directly from me. Most of them knew my father, and if I was speaking politics to them, they will understand. And there was a very bad image about Nigeria especially. And if I explained the situation to them, I probably will open their minds into not being afraid and create a friendlier atmosphere for another generation. So it wasn't about changing my music or anything. And I did see the opportunity of showing possibilities with the Afrobeat, that the Afrobeat could move in this direction. And I knew the hip-hop, the foundation of hip-hop was really, it really came from the Afrobeat. The pioneers of hip-hop were all fanatics of the Afrobeat. So the similarity was already there. And so all these reasons were, I was just thinking very wild and putting all these ideas together. I saw the opportunity, I saw many things. So I got to a stage with the sax. I think I probably did everything I could do with the sax. So I moved to the trumpet. So I play a lot of the trumpet now. So the trumpet really made me, I picked up the trumpet to become more militant because of I thought I should become more militant with my music. And unfortunately, the trumpet changed my perception of life completely. It made me calmer. I wanted to be more angry, but the trumpet made me cool, made me see life in a complete different perspective from my original thoughts. And I think the trumpet made me a better person. The sax already carved me out in this certain image, but the trumpet really changed me. I think it made me a nicer person, more adaptable, more all these things. And I picked up the piano as well. So you see, if I had said, whoa, I'm perfect, I'm a genius, I would not have been able to learn. So you always have to understand, you need to keep an open mind. You need to always give yourself room to improve. My father is very unconventional. My father liked the open house policy. Everybody could walk into his house at any time and everybody was equal. And he will never show he loved his kids more than anybody else. I would never do that. We were lucky because of my mother. Nobody talks about my mother, but my mother, I think, saved our lives as children because we felt very bad. We walked into every home and we were thrown out because we were Fela's children, because of his political views, and they were all like sucking up to the government. He smokes, he liked women, and everybody thought Fela's children, no, we don't want Fela's children around us. All my girlfriends, by the time I'm introduced to their parents, oh, Fela's son, oh no, get him out of this house, never come back here again. So it was very painful. And then I go back home, and then my father is treating everybody, open house policy. So we never had that intimate joy that I saw in other homes. And I knew it was there because we knew. I mean, if you look directly in his eyes, you knew he loved you, but he was macho man. And he had to be he presented himself in this way and in this manner, and you had to just accept it. I will never let that happen to my kids. You will know immediately. If my children walk here, I'll stop the interview. I'm sorry. My daughter wants to say something to me. A second, please. Yes, baby, what do you want to say? She's more important than the interview. Everything is more important. Everything for my children, everything, nothing is more important than my children. They need their father. Success is not how great you are, I think, as a professional. That is a must. If you're a professional, that's your job, kind of. So you have to do your best there. But if you come home from your job and there is no peace in your home, so what's the point of working so hard? If you can't get home and your kids say, Daddy, I love you, I think there's nothing makes me more melt than I'm practicing and my children just come by, kiss me on the neck, because I sit and they always run around me and say, Daddy, I love you. I mean, sometimes they don't say, but they make me cry sometimes. And I think that shows I'm successful, I think. Not thousands of people shouting my name, or probably, yes, if a fan says, oh, I like your music, yeah, good. But I should be working hard for people to love my music. I think if I go back home where I want peace, or my most silent moments, and I can't find love around me, true love of people that are supposed to love me, like my children. I mean, if my children didn't love me, or hated me, or didn't admire me, then I think I would be a failure. All my work would mean nothing to me.
Africa for Africa. Hey, 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 Africa for Africa. Hey, 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 hey.
I'd like for you to let me know what you think this is. It's a very South African art.
I've seen this on TV before.
And also,
You want me to try it on?
Yes.
Okay. I think this is supporters club for rugby. It's obvious. But they do use it for, I think they use it for football as well. I see many of your supporters wearing this, shouting, yeah, Bafana, Bafana. And unfortunately, sometimes you lose as well.
Are you able to put them on?
Oh, you want me to now look like a clown? No. Do you know what I did?
Yes.
I went bungee jumping.
Really?
Yes.
Nice. And did you enjoy it?
Not really. I thought when I get back, I'm going to go and see a psychiatrist. I saw death 1,000 times. I know I'm crazy because I first went zip sliding. So I knew I was crazy. And everybody was convincing me, you need to go. And they said, it's not that far. Then we get to this place and it's too huge. They said it's about 2-story buildings. I said, well, of course I can jump 2-story. Then we get there and I see these 2 nuclear plants, huge towers. And I'm like, wow. But I boasted so much, and I couldn't. Femi, the great Femi, how can you not jump? So everybody was watching. It's going to chicken out. It's going to chicken out. And I said, wow. Well, if I die, it's better to die like a brave idiot, right? So I know I'm very stupid. So then it says, 1, 2, 3, jump. When I dived, I mean, you see death 1,000 times. I'm not joking. You see, I'm still dreaming about it. I know somewhere in my mind, I have to be very stupid. I know I'm very daft. Why would you jump from there, really? No, really. So I'm trying to now find the fun in what I did. The only fun there is to say, well, I did it. But did I get any... Was it better than playing the saxophone or music? Why would I jump? Why did I jump? Really? So, it's very senseless, but you should jump. You should jump. I'm going to convince everybody to jump.
3. 2, 1.
Sani Bunani Emakai, DStv, thank you for having me here. Great channel. Keep on watching DStv. DStv. Hello.